Greetings everyone, welcome to the Tathagat IAS YouTube channel. My name is Alifia Nagriwala. Today we have with us Dr. Nawazuddin here and we are going to discuss some important economic issues with him. Before moving further to the topic, I would like to give a brief introduction about Dr. Nawazuddin. Dr. Nawazuddin has done PhD in economics from IIT Roorkee and his research topic was related to intergenerational mobility in India. He is also selected for 2013 state services and BPSC state services. So, Dr. Nawazuddin, I welcome you to the Tathagat family.
Thank you, Alfia, for having me in this show. Thank you so much for introduction.
So, before going to our core topic, which is the rise in inflation these days, sir, I would request you to elaborate some topics of some related topics of inflation like wholesale price index and consumer price index.
Thank you so much, Alfia, that you have picked up this topic for discussion. I am glad that you picked up this topic. So, as you asked about the inflation, so let me begin with some basic concepts that in India, the NSO, National Sample Organization, that tracks inflation in India by two measures.
Okay.
One is the WPI, as you said, the wholesale price index. The another is the consumer price index. So, in a brief, I want to explain the difference between both of the terms. The wholesale price index is from the wholesale perspective, and then consumer price index is from the consumer's perspective. Let me explain it more. Okay, suppose that I am buying certain good in 50 rupees, okay, in India. Okay, so there are many costs that are involved, okay, like the transportation cost, like the taxes and the margin of the seller. Okay, so when we add all these terms in the production cost, okay, so WPI plus the transportation cost, WPI plus the taxes, that is very important part of the CPI. Okay, so we can say that CPI is equal to WPI plus transportation cost plus the taxes plus the margin of the seller. Okay. So CPI includes all these things in it, while WPI accounts only the cost at the gate of the factory.
Okay.
That is why sometimes we also call it factory gate inflation. The WPI is also known as factory gate inflation. So this is the basic difference between the WPI and CPI.
Okay, so this was the major difference between CPI and WPI.
Yeah.
As you said, like I would like to just conclude it in a line if you allow.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, like CPI is from the consumer point of view. We go and purchase in the market. So, at what price we purchase the good, it reflects the CPI index.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and at the price which the retailer purchases from their market, from the
Yes.
producer market, it is called wholesale price
Wholesale
index, right?
price index.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me quickly come to the real question here, sir. That we have seen a recent trend that WPI wholesale price index has exceeded CPI in recent times. So could you please explain it? That why is this happening?
That is a very important question. Nowadays, everybody is asking me that why the WPIs keep exceeding the CPI. So before coming to that point, why from since April we are looking at the figures that WPIs keep exceeding the CPI. So why is that? And everybody is expecting from me, my colleagues, my friends, and many students. They generally ask me that why such trends in India. So before moving to that, just for the clarity, I also want to explain that WPI talks about the goods, the price rise in goods.
Okay.
And CPI talks about the price rise in the goods and services.
Okay.
So it is a difference. There is a difference.
Okay.
Okay. The another difference between the CPI and WPI in terms of methodology is that the base year for the WPI is 2011-12.
Okay.
And for the CPI, the base year is 2012. So it is another difference. And the third difference between the CPI and WPI that answers your question, that why WPI is exceeding CPI. So because of the difference, okay. And the major difference is that the WPI gives high weightage to the manufactured products. Okay, CPI gives high weightage to the food items.
Okay.
Okay, so this is there is a difference between the methodology, the composition, the constituents of the WPI are different in terms of weight. The constituents of the CPI are different in terms of the weight. So as I said, the CPI gives a high weightage to the food items. Okay, it is, if I can recall, it is around 58 and 59%. Okay, the weightage for the food items in the CPI is 58-59%, around that. In WPI, around 67% weightage is given to the manufactured items.
Okay.
The fuel and power has high weightage in WPI. Okay, so what happened, because of the pandemic, the global supply chain is disturbed. So we import many items like minerals, like chemicals, the fuel, the crude petroleum, the natural gas. Okay, so because all these items in WPI have high weightage, okay, and because of the supply chain disruptions, because of the supply disruptions, all the prices of all these goods are very high. That is why the CPI is high. Okay, all these items do not have much weightage in CPI. Okay, so that is why the CPI figure is still low. That is the one explanation. That is the one explanation that I explained why the WPI is high, because of the composition.
Okay.
The composition of the WPI is that because of the high, and the one more important point is that when the fuel prices are high, when the prices of the minerals are high, when the prices of chemicals are high, and other primary articles, non-food articles, their prices are high, so it will affect the prices of the manufactured products. That is the major constituent of the WPI. As I said, 67% weightage is given to the manufactured items.
Yes.
So the fuel, the chemicals, the minerals, all these items are used as a inputs in the manufactured products. Okay. So because of that also, the price, there is a price rise in the for the manufactured products also. So in summation, the WPI is high. So that is the one explanation why the WPI is high. But what is the explanation behind why the CPI is not very high? So because food items has very high weightage in the CPI. In the NSO observed, and that in year 2021 there is the price rise in vegetables, in food, is lower compared to the last year. Okay, so it is year on year basis measurement. In the inflation in the month of November 2021, the inflation in the month of November 2020. Okay, so it is year on year basis comparison. So what was the inflation figures in November 2020, and what is the current statistic in the month of November 2021? So food items this year have seen low growth, and because of the base effect, because last year the inflation for the food items were very high. Okay, so because of the base effect also, it is not reflected in the CPI.
Okay.
So that is the main reason that CPI is still on the between the range of 4, 5 or 6, and WPI is around, I don't know the exact figure, but it is greater than 13 to 14%.
Okay.
And since April, it is about 10% growth in the WPI. So these are the some major issues.
Okay, sir, beautifully explained, sir. So, as you said, that there is a lot more weightage given to fuel and power in the wholesale price index.
Exactly.
Right,
Yes.
and the if we compare the data, then we can see that fuel prices are also on a rise. There is inflation related to fuel prices. So, could you please explain our audience that why is it so? Why is there inflation in the fuel prices these days?
Oh, you picked up very good question from my explanation that weightage for the fuel prices are high. Okay, and why there is a price rise, very high price rise in the for the fuel products, and petroleum products. So as I in the beginning of my discussion I said that there are many multiple costs that are involved, okay, like the production cost, like the transportation cost, the margin of the seller, okay. So in terms of petroleum products it is also applicable, like there is a margin of the petrol pump owner, okay, there is a profit margin of the petrol oil companies, okay, and there is a transportation cost, and there are taxes, okay. So there are two kind of taxes: the taxes imposed by the state government, different state governments in India, and then there is a tax imposed by the federal government, we call it central government also, okay. So there are all these components are there, okay. So we cannot do anything about the cost because it is totally dependent on the international market. Like currently the cost of 1 barrel crude oil is around more than $70 per barrel, okay. So we cannot do anything about that, okay. So whatever the cost is in the international market, we have to follow, we have to pass on it to the consumer, there is no way out. But in last 6-7 years there is a very high taxes on the petroleum products, okay. In terms of petrol, the central government imposes around 30 to 32 rupees as a tax, okay. For state government I think it varies state to state, we have to check it, okay, but around 15 rupees to 25 rupees, okay, that is the taxes charged by the state governments, okay. So you can see that around 40 to 50 rupees, okay, the total cost of the 1 liter petrol is because of the taxes, and that is in our hand. Government can cut down the taxes, so automatically the prices of the fuel will come down, okay. We cannot do anything about the margin of the seller is very low, it is around some paisa per liter, okay. So the major constituent of the price hike in last 6-7 years is due to the fact that government is keep increasing the taxes, okay. So there are some blame gaming all these things that state government should cut taxes, sometimes state government say that central government, federal government should cut taxes, okay. So but the thing is that for the state governments after the implementation of the GST there is no way, okay, they are left with the less options, okay. So it is up to the federal government that they should decide. And my one more worry is that whatever the price is, okay, it should be fixed for the long term, there must not be any kind of fluctuations, okay. So then households can anticipate their future, the investors can look at, the producers can look at, okay, because the fuel is an important input in multiple industries, okay. In agriculture it is an important input in the monthly budget of households, it is a big cost, okay. So government should fix it and do not change it very rapidly, very frequently. There must be some stability, the price stability matters a lot. So as far as WPI and CPI is concerned, so that is my answer.
Okay, sir.
And the fuel
Yes.
price, you asked a very good question about the fuel prices, that why there is a fuel price, high fuel prices in the country, despite the fact that the international prices are not so high, okay.
Yes.
So because of the taxes structure.
Thank you so much, sir. You explained it in such an easy way.
Thank you.
So, one last question. Do you have some kind of policy suggestions you would like to put on here?
First of all, let me say very openly that government knows about the revenue, the tax collection, the resources they have with them. So it is up to them to decide what to do and what not to do, because they know all the maths, okay. from where the money is coming and where the money will be going. So they have that kind of mind with them. So let them decide. So from my side as a common citizen, okay, I must say that, because as I said earlier, because it is an important input in multiple industries. Okay, in last month, all of us have seen that in terms of the telecom companies, they have increased the prices of their services, the mobile prepaid plans.
Yes.
They have increased the amount. So in India, or different industries, mobile telecom companies, okay, they use diesel as an input in their generator sets. Okay, so we cannot allow such price hike, okay, for long term. It is not good. We will be in kind of danger, because it, another important point is that I really like to mention is that the high inflation put extra burden on the poorer section of the society. It is the worst kind of tax we can impose on our marginalized population, because inflation is a certain kind of tax. Okay, if my income is 25,000 rupee or 10,000 rupee per month, and then inflation is high, it automatically reduces the purchasing power of the households, and again there will be cut in the demand. There will be the demand will come down because of the inflation. So it will create another kind of problem in the economy. So it is right time that I haven't seen anywhere in the world. Generally the high taxes are used to decrease the consumption of the certain goods, like cigarette. Government imposes tax on cigarette because government want to discourage the consumption of the cigarette. Okay, similarly, when government wants to cut down the expenditure on certain important goods, like the highway imported bikes. Okay, government wants that people will not buy, should not buy all these imported goods, the watches from this Switzerland, all these things, because it affects the current account deficit. So government imposes high tax whenever government want to discourage the consumption of the certain goods. But in case of petrol and diesel, I do not understand why there are high taxes. Okay, and important argument is that given by the people, that if the government will reduce the taxes on these goods, people will start consuming more. Okay, and the owners of the SUVs, they will enjoy benefits out of it, because Scorpio consumes a lot of fuel compared to the a bike holder. Okay, so the argument given by multiple people that, okay, if the government will really cut down the taxes, the benefits will go to the owner of a SUV, and not the common man. But there is a data in 2014, a report came out around about the sales of the petrol and diesel, and the report clearly mentioned that 62% consumption of the petrol in India belongs to the two-wheeler owners. Okay. So if you will give relief in terms of the taxes, it will automatically go to the middle class. Okay, and it is also an important in terms of the transportation. Okay, in terms of around I can recall around 28% or even more than that, the diesel consumption is done by the trucks. Okay, so the trucks carry our goods. Okay, they carry vegetables, they carry fruits. So automatically it increases the price of the vegetables, the price of the goods we consume in our day-to-day life. So it will keep increasing the cost of the living in this country if government will not cut down the taxes.
Okay, so just briefing what you said, if the government lowers the taxes on fuel and power, then it will benefit more the middle class and the lower sections. It will
Exactly.
penetrate, the benefit will penetrate to the lower sections much more than it will benefit the rich sections of the society or the privileged ones, right?
Yes, exactly.
Very
Because the
beautifully.
consumption structure is like that, as
Okay.
I said, that it is the diesel and petrol is used by the trucks, the two-wheeler owners, the light commercial vehicles. Okay, so because of the consumption structure, if you will give benefit to these sectors, okay, they will automatically, it will automatically increase the purchasing power of these people. So
Okay.
that is my argument.
Okay, no, thanks. Thank you so much, sir, for explaining it so beautifully
Thank
to
you.
our audience.
Thank you.
It was such a wonderful experience with you. We will surely love to have you another time here. We just got the news that government released the GDP, latest GDP estimates.
Yes.
So, due to time shortage, we will discuss it in our next session. So, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this program. Thank you.
And thank you so much, audience, for listening to us, for joining us. So, we'll catch up the next time. Thank you.